As the week started, Russ, you mentioned that you might be doing some different things, some evaluations, maybe a different approach to practice. Can you sort of update us on what you've done and how it's looked to you?
Well, yeah, I mean, obviously, we had to do some things to kickstart us a little bit, after that game. And one of the things is we're going better on better during not just a portion of practice, but the whole practice. I mean, we're getting better looks offensively and defensively. There's more knee bend. There's a lot more energy. There was a couple fights. Those I think we needed to juice it up a little bit and get it going and get better players on better players in practice. And so that's helped, and we had a good day yesterday.
Do you have to be careful with that, though, because as you mentioned Monday, you guys are still pretty thin?
Yeah, I mean, it was Jeff Durden just came in my office, and like Will Garrity, Delaware's a lot of two tights, and we were working on our two tight stuff, and we want good players in there. Will's really good, and Stephon, and so Will had to kind of double duty it there, and took a lot. So we got to keep a close eye on him. But again, there is a fine line, and I don't know where it is, but you got to keep getting better. You got to give your guys legitimate looks, and let them compete.
What do you see from Delaware, Coach? What do they do well? What are you guys going to have to do to kind of overcome and get them on Saturday?
Well, they run the ball really, really effectively. They've got two good backs. One, Kane, is huge and is a really good player. And then they got a smaller back who's really fast. So they got a great complementary package with those two guys. They can hammer you. And I know he had over 100 yards against us last year. And they can hammer you with him. And if there's a crease, their other guy, 33. And I wish I was better with names, but I know numbers pretty well. And he looks really good. And they're big up front. And they're physical. And they're going to try to lean on you. They hurt us, they hurt us in the running game last year, and obviously we got to play the run better.
Russ, did you think about or seriously consider changing any of your starters as you come off that JMU game?
Well, I don't know. You can. Yeah, I mean, not really, because we just don't have enough. But we're gonna try to get our best 11 on the field, both sides of the ball, and if that's 12 personnel with Will and Stephon, that's what we do. If it's 10 personnel, that's what we do. We got to make sure we try to get our best 11 on both sides of the ball on the field.
Have you considered schematically on defense, transition to a third linebacker? Are you pretty committed to what you're doing scheme-wise?
I mean, we're pretty committed. I mean, we got to tackle better. We got fit gaps a little bit better. I think as coaches, we got to emphasize these things in practice better, and not just say, well, we know he's a good player, and just because he didn't bend his knees and he missed the tackle, that it's he'll do it in a game. That normally doesn't happen that way. Normally, what kind of happens out of practice happens in the game, and we just got to continue to try to get better.
How big is this game for each team? Not just because it's the next one, but because they have 2 losses, you've got 3. Given the back end of both of your schedules, you got to get this one because how many playoff teams might come from this conference. Does any of that come into your preparation, your talk to these guys this week?
Well, I haven't talked to them about it. They know there's a lot to play for. We've got pretty bright guys here at Richmond. They can kind of see, and for me to me, I just want our football team to play better. I want us to play sharper. I want us to play crisper. I want us to play with more of an edge. I want us to play with some energy. And, if you can do those things and you practice well and you do things the right way, you got a shot to win. And that's all we can worry about is what happens this Saturday, how we prepare for this Saturday, and not look down the road. So we're just trying to win a football game and play better.
How much of looking back at last week's game do you take the first quarter, which was statistically and on the scoreboard and everything else a relatively even first quarter between those two, and show the guys this is what we are capable, and this is is that an example of the rest of the game might have gone haywire, but do you focus on that first quarter as to how was it closer to the example that you're looking for the team to see?
I don't know if there was a whole lot that was really good. I mean, 7-3 at the end of the first quarter, and no, we kind of went through. I had our defensive coaches kind of pick out certain plays and to show the defensive guys and the offensive coaches to do the same thing, and why something didn't go right. But there were guys that played well and that have played well all year. I mean, sitting in the back room, Stephon Jacob had a really good game. I mean, he was as good as anybody on that field. Andrew Clyde, was really good, and we had some other guys defensively and some other guys offensively. It may not sound like it, but up front offensively, we did a pretty decent job. There were some mental mistakes that hurt us, but for the most part, they held their own in there. So there was some good performances. But we all know when you get 14-point turn swings in a game, that hurts. I mean, it hurts. I mean, it could have been a 14-10 game. And I looked at the clock, and I believe there was 7 minutes to go in the half. And now it's a 14-10 game with 7 to go in the half. Instead, it's 21-3. And we actually, I can't remember what we did on our next series, but we did get one on the board to make it 28-10. We could have had one, right before the half, 11 seconds to go, where Kevin put it right on a guy, and we didn't make the play in the end zone. So all those things kind of, I guess 35-17's better, 28-17's obviously better, but just kind of something here, something there, and got it to that point, and and then you fumble a kickoff, and you get a sack fumble, and you throw an interception in the second half, and it gets out of control. And our guys aren't quitters. They didn't quit in the game. They didn't give up in the game. They competed. We kind of made some mistakes and shot ourselves in the foot, and I don't believe our guys will quit at all. We're facing some adversity, and how you handle adversity and how you come back from that adversity tells you a lot about our players, our coaches, and everybody. I mean, I'm sure everybody out there. I don't know, because you guys may be the first people I've seen in 3 days. But they're probably everybody hates our football team right now, hates our players, hates our coaches, and despises me right now. And that's fair. I mean, that's fair. I apologize for the performance, and it all comes back. I think I may have even said it comes back on me. I mean, I'm the head coach, and if it's not right and it's not done the correct way, it's basically me. So I should be the one that they're not real fond of. Our players are giving it all they got, and we'll get better. I know we will.